Hello, friends. How are you today? We're getting introspective and putting a mirror up to our business operations. And speaking of putting a mirror up, yes, I need a haircut. It's happening next week. I can't wait. But that's not going to stop me from putting out a good blog post in terms of great content that I have for you. So try not to be too distracted, I hope. At any rate, we are doing some navel gazing with our businesses. And hopefully, through the course of watching some of these vlog posts, you have an understanding of what you are not and what you are in terms of your business, what your North Star is, what your differentiator is, and how do you go to market? How are you perceived in the market? And then what falls in alignment with that in terms of creating a good BD strategy is not only having a realistic competitive analysis and a SWOT, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, but also that identification of what is it going to take for us to no-go an opportunity? What is it going to take if that is not the right client type? Maybe they will never hire us. We don't like their contract. We won't make money, or we're just not aligned from an integrity standpoint, from an ethics standpoint, whatever else, from a gut standpoint, whatever else it is that just does not make sense for your business. So then that way you ultimately say, no, thank you very much for the opportunity. I'm not the right consultant for you. It takes a lot of discipline, and trust me, because I do it. And like when you are a solopreneur, you are eating what you kill. And sometimes you don't look too far into the horizon to see what's coming up next. It's that all knowing and hope and trust that it all takes care of itself ultimately, if you're doing all the right things from a marketing standpoint and have built a good, solid business with a service line. But it's also knowing what you are not and knowing when is it not going to be a success specifically for you. If you're not engaged, excited, passionate about it, then you're not going to bring your best ultimately. Look, I was just doing this talk in a client's office last week. We can talk ourselves into or out of just about anything. It's the same way with client opportunities. So if we see a client pursuit, we can talk ourselves into going after it all day long. Our client can, because they want us to pursue their work, they may need another number or another option or whatever else to fulfill their supervisor's procurement desires. So they may be putting the carrot out there, please pursue my work, when they don't really have any intention of hiring you. So it's being very disciplined, knowing that you have a process. If I haven't looked eyeball to eyeball with a client, the reality is they probably will not hire me. And it's the reality. So I would rather cut my losses early than not pursue it ultimately. Trying to understand our value, that's what it's all about. And really assessing, does the client get my value too? Or are they just shopping for the bottom line, lowest number that there is out there? I've never worked for an organization, including the one that I have right now. I've never worked for an organization where I am the lowest priced service provider. If you want to go screaming to the bottom, there's lots of people that are a lot cheaper than me in everything that I've ever done. But it's realizing that, and there are some businesses that are built on that, but it's realizing that if you work for a company that is not built on being the low cost provider, you got to figure out a way to sell your value. And with that, sales of the value comes that pre-sale process, that account development, that relationship cultivation and advancement to get to the deal. And if you don't have that time, and if you don't have the relationship, you can't get to the ask, and you can't ultimately get to the sale. So it's always about knowing when is the right no-go for me. What's the right no-go for you? Let me learn from you. You take good care. Let me know if you have any questions. I'm here to help. You take good care, and I'll see you soon.